Alrighty. In this video, we want to talk about scientific notation. I hinted at this in the video with units because metric prefixes and scientific notation kind of go together. Uh, let's get through this. This is a way to express very large or very small numbers a little bit easier so that we don't have to worry about writing a bunch of zeros. Click it. Okay. So they work the same way as the metric prefixes. This simplifies large numbers and small numbers. Every scientific notation has the same idea here, okay? You have the decimal part, which is this guy in the front, this A. The value of A is anything from 1 to 9. So, mm, yeah, you're gonna have one number in front of the decimal place there, and then everything, so it's, point whatever. So you can't have a 0 in the front, you can't have more than 2 in the front, okay? The other part of this over here is the exponential part. This n here is an integer, right, in the exponential part. In the exponential part, this could be positive or it could be a negative value, okay? This is going to help us figure out what the size of the number is based on whether or not it's positive or negative. Positive number is going to be something that's large, and a negative number is going to be something that's small. And this is relative to 1. So a large number is bigger than 1 and a small number is smaller than 1. Okay. Yeah. When we're thinking about scientific notation and we're using our calculator, that's why I put a picture of the calculator here, you have to use this EE button. Okay. The EE button lets the calculator know that you're using scientific notation and treats that as one number, okay? If you try to use the times 10 to a power button, it's going to treat it like a function and it's going to mess up your calculations, okay? So when you're use the EE button, you would say, I don't know, 2.65 and then push EE, we'll say E, and then we'll say, I don't know, minus 0.3. Okay, that's what your calculator will show you. What that means is you've just typed in the number 2.65 times 10 to the negative 3. And this number is the same as 0.00265. Okay, I'm going to show you how to convert those in a second, back and forth. But let's talk about a little bit what this meaning is, right? This is going to work the same way as we saw in the metric prefixes. So oh, excuse me, if we had 6.7 times 10 to the 3, we know that's going to be a positive number, that's positive exponent, so we have a large value, times 10 to the 3 is 1,000, so we're essentially doing 6.7 times 1,000, which is 6,700, okay? If we had 6.7 times 10 to the minus 3, that's a 3. Then this is the same thing as saying 0.0063. Why did I write 637? And there's my decimal place that got left off. Okay. All right. Let's look at some converting things as we do this. All right. If we're switching back and forth between a decimal form number or a scientific notation number, then all we really need to do is move the decimal place and count some zeros. Okay. So let's start off with, we'll say 63925, and we're going to put that into scientific notation. Okay. What we want to do is find the decimal place in the big number, which is the end here, since we don't have one. Okay, we're going to move it until we have one number to the left of the decimal place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we moved it 4 times. So this is the same thing as saying 6.3925 times 10, and we moved it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 10 to the 4th, we want a positive 4 because that's a bigger than 1 number. Okay, if we have a smaller than 1 number, then let's say we have 0.0000983. Okay, we want to get that into scientific notation. The steps are the same idea. Okay, we're going to find the decimal place and we're going to move it until we have one non-zero number to the left of the decimal place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times there. So this is 9.83 times 10. This number is less than 1, so this is a negative. We moved it 5 times, so it's negative 5. Okay. We can do the same idea backwards to get us out of scientific notation. So if we had 3.269 times 10 to the 5th, okay, we're going to undo the scientific notation by moving our decimal place 5 times, okay? Now, because it's bigger than 1, we want to make sure we move it in a way that makes the number bigger than 1. So that's going to be to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means we have 3, 2, 6, 9. 1, 2, wait, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then if we want to do a smaller than number, 7.96 times 10 to the minus 3. Then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to move it the other way. So I'm going to do it over here. 796. This is where our decimal point was. I'll use that color here. Okay. We're going to move it 3. We're going to move it to the left so we can make the number smaller. 1, 2, 3. That's where the decimal place goes. So this becomes 0.00796. Okay. This 0 in the front is required. Okay. My rule for you guys is no naked decimal places. Okay. So make sure you have that 0 in the front when you do that. Okay. If you have questions, let me know. And just for reference, the secret word is pineapple.